Welcome to STS29, in which we cite planets.
Yeah, that'll do.
Search of the
We've done
Go
an
for that
awful
one.
lot. It's pretty much all I've done for the past
I would have come up with
4
something better.
days.
Yes. So, of course, we are here as always, and with me is Mr. Kell, hiding in the corner somewhere, Mr. Fluke,
Sup?
and Mr. Surge.
Oh.
So, Surge, you're being, like, kind of unhappy today. If I could give you a hug, I would.
I'm not unhappy.
It's very subdued today. I'll give him a hug. There
just
we
very
go.
meh.
Elden 3 hug.
Just
Please
very
get off me.
meh.
This is so uncomfortable.
Is that the right word, Surge? Meh. Would that be the right word? He's gone quiet.
I've lost my headphone.
Yeah, in the midst of his hug, he rips the headphones straight out of her ears.
See,
Kind of.
all alone.
Okay. There you go.
I did bear.
So, Serge, I said meh. Is that the right word to sum it up?
Meh. Yeah, just feeling very
Just
meh
a
today.
meh day.
Groggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been really busy recently sorting out PlanetSide for all you people.
He's not used to this.
What do you mean,
He's not
you people?
He's not used to
People.
this. He's now realising how much work and how stressful it is trying to handle a bunch of people, trying to herd cats.
I was going to say,
Basically,
trying to herd cats.
Yeah, trying to keep all these people doing the same thing while trying to do a bunch of other things, and then, his brother might ring him on Skype and want to talk to him, so he's trying to talk to his brother on Skype while invite people to the outfit and direct the squad where they. And he's now realising just how much work and how stressful this shit really is.
This is why I stopped raid leading them well. But I must say, I joined in one night of PlanetSide when I just had some downtime. Serge was leading a squad, and it was hilarious fun.
Brilliant fun. I didn't see it coming, man. I didn't get round to trying it in beta.
The funny thing is that I kept pestering you to play it. I was like, go on, give this a go.
Give it a
This is
go.
really
And I
good.
kept kind of running the launcher, and I updated it, and I was like, I can't be bothered to play a new game and learn something, program another G13 profile, and all the rest of it that comes with starting to play something that I know I'm likely to get stuck into. And
Boy, were you wrong.
yeah, man.
It does have to be played with a group, though.
Else you get lonely.
It's best played with a group, but I've found ways, even when I'm playing on my own at stupid o'clock, I just get a Galaxy and just ferry people from the main terminal and
Yeah.
just go and drop them over hot
community
zones.
is very
Hilarious
good.
fun.
Mag
They are.
tank for me is my solo toy of choice. Just drive around in a mag and just be like, hey, look, I am behind enemy lines.
Yeah, I'm loving my Mag Rider tank, but I need to upgrade my Liberator first. I need a better gun than those
Yeah.
crappy chain guns
Bomber.
on the bottom. Upgrade the bomber. Once I've done that, we're spending on the Mag Rider and the Galaxy. I want to turn my Galaxy into a gunship.
Yeah.
Hilarious fun.
That would be silly.
I bought the weapon bundle because I'm a dirty pay to win
I wish I
of
could
guy.
afford. I wish I could afford to be fair, 'cause the weapon bundle's got a lot of nice stuff in it.
The gun for the Liberator is amazing. I now have a thud launcher strapped to the bottom of it, which I named it that simply because when you fire it, it simply just goes thud.
Which one is it? Is it the 150 Dalton or the 105?
It's the Zephyr.
The Zephyr. Awesome. The 6-shot is just thunk, 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 thunk.
The one
thunk.
that when using it yesterday got orgasmic joy from the other guy in your Liberator.
XJ was loving it.
Yes.
Uh,
I don't know. I'm still out on PlanetSide, if I'm honest. I want to like it, and I want to invest time into it, but at the same time, it's an MMO.
it
And
is and it isn't, because there's no. It's an MMO with none of that. They've gotten rid of the bit that everybody just now sees as a grind and isn't really interested in. They've
yeah, I
taken
can,
all
I
the
can
story
drop
away
in,
and just
drop
gone.
out.
They've just gone slice and slop all the level 1 to 49 off and gone, there's a level 50 character, there's the end game, get on with it.
Yeah, I can drop in and drop out as much as I want, but when it's a game like that, you wouldn't normally just log on to take one base and then log off again.
Yeah,
It is one of those games.
But-
It's
Whenever I play,
You
I
get
suppose it's down to
stuck.
person, but yeah, when I play, it's usually for a good couple of hours.
I'll just have a quick half an hour. Oh my god, where did that last 9 hours go?
Well, no, it's not so much. It's not even a eater of time. It's not an Anno or one of those kind of games.
It is
It's for me. It's a
me.
game that before I go into it, I plan to go into it in the logic of I'm going to go play this game for a few hours. Because that's how I approach most FPSs. I don't go into an FPS with the logic of I'm just going to jump into COD for like 3 minutes, and have a round or two. or I'm not going to jump into Battlefield and have, just a round or two. It's like I jump into those kind of games to play for a while to get quite a few rounds to either
it takes a few rounds to get into the swing of it.
To either warm up and then have some decent rounds after I've warmed up, or to jump in and just put on some loud German techno and drop the bullets.
I enjoy dropping bullets.
No, I can see where you're coming from with that. Especially when it does take you a couple of rounds to get warmed up, because there's nothing worse than jumping into a game for 10 minutes and being like, I sucked so hard.
Yeah, you need to have a couple of... I think that's what it is. I know what you mean now. You've got to play a couple of games till you feel like, yes, I've had an awesome game. I'm on a high. I can end it there. Rather than, I sucked. I want to play something.
I usually go past that point to the point where I start sucking again, and it's like, I suck, I'm going to quit.
And that's when you go to bed.
Yeah.
It's 7 o'clock in the morning.
I must be too tired. That's why I'm sucking. Blame it on the tiredness. I'm going to bed.
I seem to organise games into time categories. Like, I have games that, if I just want to play for 30 minutes or an hour, I'll play one of the games in, like, this category.
Meat Boy.
They're games like Meat Boy or Dota or XCOM has now fallen into that category for me.
Yeah. Play a couple of levels of that.
Yeah, to just, do like one or two turns and then just drop out again.
I'm impressed that you can actually just do 1 or 2 turns of XCOM. It's Civ Syndrome for me. I can't do just 1 or 2 turns. I usually play an entire Iron Man campaign.
I've died so many times in that game now that it is literally like I have no connection to my guys. I feel like I am literally just
expendable.
Yeah, I feel like I am just a military general in the US that's just like, sir, these soldiers have come back. It's like, I knew that man. He was a great man. Send flowers to his wife. Now, back to the mission.
Yeah.
You're like the Imperial Guard.
I was going to say, you're actually now that shadowy figure from whichever agency it is that gives you your budget report every month, and, we are watching. You're just like, whatever, I know what you mean, man. We've lost 20 this time, but we killed a load of aliens and saved a load of civilians. So
this is good.
Job done,
I am at the point now where I will willingly walk into a map in that game with, like, my Captain Badass and Fluke Prime. And everyone else will be rookies. And the sole job of the rookies is to die.
Is to, find the other guys, get these two the good shots, and, job done, yeah?
Yeah. So it is literally just like, gentlemen, most of you, pretty much all of you guys wearing the red shirts, will not make it back today.
Wow.
And in the rare occurrence that one of them does make it back, then I just kind of bench him. And it's like, I'll take you somewhere a little bit later on. Or, I've got you as a backup if suddenly 3 zombies appear and destroy Fluke Prime.
Yeah, has happened. Destroy me, impregnate me, turn me into a zombie, eats the rest of the squad.
It is the worst thing when they happen on hostage missions, because you lose all your hostages and then you've got a fleet of zombies coming at you.
Yeah.
Still the worst one of those that I've had is the game where it was the very first time I ever saw zombies, and it was hard, and I ended up basically going, sod this, and guys, evacuate, just abort the mission. And they ended up running back to the place, and then one guy died outside of the evac zone, and the other guys panicked
and ran out
of the E zone. They ran out of the evac, and it's like, what are you doing? Like, this is not how you survive in a wartime situation. You're right underneath the plane. Get in the plane.
Get in the transport.
Even if you're panicking, you get in the plane.
Yeah, it's like watching a bad horror movie. It's like, why are you running upstairs? No, don't go upstairs. Oh, the killer's going to stab you.
No.
Brilliant.
It was the wartime equivalent of hiding in a goddamn cupboard and breathing heavily.
And sneezing at the dust. Yeah.
They've missed a beat with XCOM, in my opinion. I played some of the multiplayer with Lunch, and it's basically just squad versus squad combat, which is
I don't like multiplayer.
They really did miss a massive amount from that. I agree totally.
And we were discussing kind of what kind of multiplayer we would have liked to see in it, and when you look at the map, you've got all these different starting locations you can have.
Mm.
Have a multiplayer game where each person controls a base.
Yeah. You just get half the number of resources, so you've really got to work together. You could both send Sky Ranger units to the same site, so you'd have 2 squads at a site. Yes, that'd be easier,
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
but
no,
you're
no.
only at one site. What about the other site that you could split up and deal with 2 sites simultaneously? So you'd up the
I do
number of
it the,
alien incursions to compensate for each number of players, so they really have got to work together. But that'd be so much fun.
I do it in a way of they're both working for the XCOM project. They both have shared resources in that regard and end up having to like pull stuff together, which is like, oh crap, I am under attack, I need X, and it's like no, you can't have that, and it's like no, I'm going to take it and use it, and you know that kind of
Yeah, no, that's what I mean.
frenemy
You're
style
both in
game.
the same thing, so you're sharing resources, but you've got 2 independent bases, so you've both
Yes, you've got
full
your 2
control.
independent bases, but you work on that really awesome frenemy kind of thing of like, and you're
one
helping
person
me,
per
but you're being
continent.
goddamn detrimental while helping me because you've
Well,
just taken all
see-
of my interceptors, and now I'm gonna lose a satellite.
See, now, what the sensible set of players would end up doing, it'd be like, right, okay, I'll focus on the development of the new tech. You knock out soldiers and actually produce the interceptors.
but
So
if-
you do the
if you-
engineering, I'll do the research.
If you crafted the AI in such a way that it ends up causing as many problems for them as possible, you end up with this wonderful evolution of the multiplayer where the tension between the 2 sides gets too much.
That's a point. It's just dawned on me. Didn't in UFO Enemy Unknown, which was what this is effectively the redo of,
I have no idea.
didn't the aliens attack your bases?
Yeah,
You
they
had to
did.
defend your base. That way, the layout of your base was important because certain structures being in certain places were obviously harder to defend or were more likely targets, so you'd want to put them behind other. And they've totally dropped that aspect. That's just
So-
occurred to me.
I'm okay with that being
let's-
gone because that killed me so much.
Oh, see,
Let's
if you
not-
had AI, if you had co-op, that'd work so well.
True.
Oh, I need help being. So you'd have, somebody sending friends over to help defend the base.
Let's not turn this into
Yeah,
XCOM
okay.
on third thought.
I think
Fair
it
point,
is slowly
shall we?
turning into Game Dev Weekly, though, where we discuss ideas for new games and ways to make current games more awesome.
Hey,
Yeah.
to be fair,
Maybe,
To be
but-
fair, it's talking about games, and
True.
most of that'll be our feelings dependent on what's happened recently and what's.
On the subject of games,
Yeah, there's a
have
bunch
any-
of stuff going off.
no, that's not what I was gonna say. I was gonna say, have any of you checked out the trailer for Super Hexagon? Like, I saw the trailer
No.
for it when it first came out on iDevices, and it's now on Steam. And Super Hexagon is a fantastic game, but watching the trailer hurts my brain.
How so? Is it just really high level play and you can't really follow what's going on?
Have you not watched it?
I think I might have, like, when
do
it
you know what
first came
Super
out on
Hexagon
iOS.
is?
Yes.
Yeah, so it is literally just it starts with a fairly basic play and it just ramps up. So at like 30 seconds, you just sat there going, there is no way that I can do this. And then
Yeah.
at like 50 seconds into this minute-long trailer, you're just sat there going, there is really no way I can do this. And then like the last 5 seconds, you're just like, no, fuck that, I'm leaving.
Where's
Yeah.
the door?
Yeah, I
haven't
remember
seen
seeing that
I'll have
trailer
to
when it
watch
came out on
that.
iOS.
But yeah, so I'm really tempted to pick up Super Hexagon, and I may even do a video on it, because while it's a simple little game and it's been out on the iDevice for a while, it's
It does look really good.
such a fun game.
What
and
is
that's-
it?
that's
Give
what
us
I
a
love.
give us a rough clue, because I've no idea, and I'm
Okay,
quite
so
sure
you
a bunch
control-
of people watching have no idea what you're talking about either.
in the middle of your screen is a hexagon.
Surprise!
You control an arrow that rotates around the edge of this hexagon.
Okay.
I believe at some point it turns into a pentagon as well. I'm looking at it. It has like 5 points. And what happens is walls come inwards on you, and there is a gap somewhere. So you have to rotate the arrow round between these walls, right? And then as the game gets harder, the walls will rotate around as they come towards you, and they'll change direction, and they'll change like the sizes of the openings and all kinds of stuff and speed up. So you are literally having to just basically move your mouse erratically around this, but it's great hand-eye coordination. It's one of those games that I would pick up because I guarantee it would make me better at an FPS.
Right, so it's mouse training, but in the form of a game.
It's mouse training, reaction speed, situation awareness.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is, it's FPS training.
They're great games. Like, Geometry Wars was one of those kind of games for me. Geometry Wars I took as an FPS trainer.
Yeah, I know what kind of thing you mean.
But for those of us who don't like their eyes, Beat Hazard.
Oh, Beat Hazard.
Wow, was that ever a nostalgic...
I have Beat Hazard on my phone.
So do I. It came in an Android bundle, and I was like, "Yep, buying that just for Beat Hazard." The other games are pretty good, but yeah. Beat Hazard Ultra on my phone.
Just for Beat Hazard.
Speaking of games that are very good, Lego Lord of the Rings came out.
Lego Lord of the Rings, that might be worth a playthrough. Actually,
and I am drooling over it.
It's quite amazing how they've actually managed to keep the Lego series so entertaining after all the iterations it's had. Really.
Well, they hit on a really good idea. It's like, let's take the really popular, cult-following films and that people know and really enjoy the stories of, and let's give them that in a Lego world to make it, and play on the humour. It just...
It does work surprisingly well.
Yeah, and all they've got to do is, because they're big enough now and successful enough, is basically point to film and go, "Excuse me, guys, can we just have a word about your..." There we go. There's a bit more money for the guys who made the film, and a big chunk more money for the brilliant idea. And it's not like they ever need to come up with any new content because somebody else has done all the hard work. Somebody else has done all the creative work. They've just got to add their comedy to it.
Oddly, Lego have actually moved away from that in the real world. Like, in the virtual world, they've still got, like, Lego Batman, Lego Harry Potter, Lego Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
There'll probably be a Lego Twilight at some point or something stupid.
God.
They take a good franchise and... Not a good franchise, but you know what I mean. Instantly saying that before someone's like, you just mentioned Twilight and the word good.
Successful franchises.
Yes, popular, successful
Prestigious.
franchises. Yes. Profitable franchises.
Yeah.
There we go. And they're making these games out of it. But in the real world, Lego world, trying to work, they've now moved into this whole, we've created our own characters, so we can now have our own movies and TV shows around our characters, and then do the Lego sets for these guys. Do it that way.
Yeah.
So they don't need to get these big licensing fees for all of these things for their sets. They don't need as many. They still have them.
I'd argue that's one of the strengths of it, though, because it is they're using the strength of whatever franchise it is they choose to do next.
But they're not getting rid of all of them. It just means that they require less of them.
Yeah, or they can add a new...
Because also, if you're a kid and you're watching Saturday morning TV and you're watching Lego Bionicle or whatever the hell they call it these days, Ninjago or whatever it is.
No idea.
Yeah. If you're watching that and then you're like, oh, they've got the new Ninjago Lego set in Woolworths. Or Starlings, or any going old school.
You're showing our age there, fella.
All right, but you know what I mean. That kind of
nostalgia trip for a second there. Don't do that again, man. I was off down CMR with my nana. She was buying us a Lego set from Woolies halfway up church.
Still one of the greatest Lego sets I ever got was the Rock Raiders.
Oh my god, I remember Rock Raiders.
Rock Raiders were amazing, and I had all of them. But do you want to know what I loved more than the Rock Raiders set? While my greatest single set was the big Rock Raider base that I had, which was amazing. I had all of the insectoids.
Oh god, I had one of those.
I had all of them.
All of them? Wow.
All of them, including the big ones and everything. And they... giant bugs that glowed and made irritating noises and stuff. And
they had lots of buttons on them.
So fun. Yes, and I basically... I can't remember how old I was, but this is going to show how fantastic the parenting that I had was. I must have been like 10, 11 at the time, maybe? somewhere, I think maybe older than that, like 12, 13, somewhere around there. But I took them apart and then I made Starship Troopers out of them. That goes to show you how fantastic the parenting in my household was. I was like 12
Nice.
watching Starship Troopers. So, Kel, what have you been up to?
Yeah, what you doing the last week?
Yeah, let's actually...
Spotlight time.
Yeah.
Oh god, what have I been doing?
She kind of froze. It was like,
Dear
in the
then,
Push him
headlight
out from
syndrome.
behind the curtains.
To be fair, I got up like under 2 hours ago, so my head isn't quite there.
Oh,
it's a
welcome to my
T-Rex.
world.
If he stands really still and doesn't say anything,
It's
Won't
fine.
get away with it.
I'll hide in a porta potty. That'll never go wrong. No, I've actually been spending a lot of time in front of my PS3 the last week because there have been some fairly good games pop up on the instant game collection for PlayStation Plus.
yeah.
Like Ratchet and Clank All for One came up,
Oh,
so I
Ratchet and
spent
Clank.
far too much time playing that. But there's nobody else playing it. I had like free drop in and play for anyone online in my game for the entire time I was playing it, and I didn't see a single person, which it was saddening because it's a really good game, especially when you've got 4 people.
Right.
Apart from that, I think it's mainly just kind of that and PlanetSide is all I've been playing this week. Oh, and I suppose World of Warcraft, League of Legends, especially since WoW 5.1 just came out.
Are you in the platoon?
Yes, Serge gave me an invite when I played once.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, needs to play more.
I like to say, we need more Irish people. We've only got one.
You got 2.
We're actually recruiting people to vent from it and all sorts.
Yeah, we've got
It's,
a couple of people now.
There's a lot of people playing it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm also once we finish this, I think sometime later tonight, I'm just going to dive headfirst into Mark of the Ninja because I picked it up when it was released. I haven't had a chance to play it yet, but it looks awesome.
I've seen a few videos of it. It looks like a lot of fun.
I'm just curious to see how 2D stealth platforming is actually going to work because there have been a few games that have tried it and it's been for want of a better term. But Mark of the Ninja, it's being lauded as being very good as a 2D stealth game, so I'm really curious to see how that works. Especially the fact that how well you do in a level, whether you decide to sneak through it or you do a Dave and kill everyone. It'll affect how many abilities you can go into the next game with, so I do like that rolling progression.
So, shall we then use that as a nice way to segue into our next topic then? Of
That
Hitman.
was the idea.
Like you setting it up like a professional, just
And then you just ripping down the
Rolling
curtain in
one
front
from
of
the
him, being
other.
all like, hey,
I know, right?
Show
And then it's
everybody
like,
how it
You
works.
see this?
I'm like that irritating chick in the cinema that's just like, no, don't go in there.
oh, it's even worse when you've got someone who's seen the movie and it's like, oh no, this is going to happen. And they cover their eyes and it's like,
once.
ah.
I did that once when I was a kid, and it's the only time I've ever done it was when I went and saw a movie twice. I see movies twice these days just because they're free for me. But back in those days, I went and saw Toy Story, and I went and saw it with I can't remember who, and then I went and saw it with my foster family, and like I was that irritating kid that was just like, oh, you gotta love what's coming up next, and that kind of stuff. And the dad or the mum or someone that was sat next to me just leaned down and just went, please stop.
You wouldn't. I wouldn't have been that polite.
You would just like flicked the back of my ear.
Oh yeah, you'd have
You
known.
little
You'd have known
shit.
about it. You'd have had a blister the size of my hand.
And this is why we don't let you near children.
And yet at one point he was my carer. Yeah. So
How quickly
Hitman
that
Absolution. Which of you guys have played it?
I've played it. I'm
Kel,
sat on the
Serge,
fence.
Have you?
I haven't played it.
I'm not a huge fan of the Hitman
Are you
series.
going
am
to
I?
No.
play it, Hitman?
No, I'm not. I don't really want to play it, to be honest. It's not my kind of game.
Fair enough.
I own
I
Agent
wasn't a
47
massive
and
fan of the first ones. To be fair, though, they always seemed very clunky's the only way I can. I've been trying to come up with how to put it, but clunky's the only way I can.
Yes, clunky work.
It just felt like you had to be in exactly the right place. You had to know what the programmers were thinking. basically,
No,
in
it's
order
a case
to
of
get a lot of the different ways of
for a
doing
lot
things.
for a lot of the older Hitman games, for me it always felt like you essentially walk around the level, you watch most NPCs in the area where the guy is that you want to get to, you watch all of their patterns, you memorize the level, and then it's like, right, I need to go here, and then for me it turned into like Hudson Hawk, if you've ever seen it. Going to one of my favorite films, but they time their crimes with songs.
Yes, I have
And
seen
to me,
it.
it felt like that. So you'd just be going through a level and just singing a song that is the right time length. So it's just like, okay, and they're going to be there at this point, and then we're at this point, and you're just going through this level singing, "Would you like to swing on a star?" And then just at the end of it, you just literally walk up behind the guy and put a bullet in the back of his head, and then walk off.
I think I need to
There we
see
go.
this. That sounds awesome.
It's really good. They basically list off a bunch. That's how they time everything. They sing this song, then this song, then this song, then this song, and different events occur at the end of or at various parts in the songs. So that's how they synchronize everything without watches. They both go off and do their thing, and they're each singing the song. And
I love that
works
film.
really well. It's
I love
quite
that film,
good
and
actually.
it's hated. It's hated by most people, and do you know why? It was considered pretty much a flop
Why?
because it was advertised as an action-y film rather than a comedy.
Yes.
That was
It was
a great example of
advertised all
wrong
wrong.
marketing.
Yeah,
It
no,
was
I'll
done
give you
wrong.
that because I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought I went
It's a
into it with
great
no
film.
preconceptions because I hadn't seen any of the marketing. I watched it months and months after it had been released and all sorts of things. And I just sat and watched it and really enjoyed it. Good film. If you haven't seen it and you've never heard anything of it, go watch it. You'll probably enjoy it.
It's fantastic. Bruce Willis in it is pretty funny. There are moments in it that are just brilliant. Like the he's about to have a bad headache.
Is that just before you put a bullet in someone's head?
No. He well, the film's been out now for like 20 years, so I don't mind that like, but he has a gun that essentially fires explosive plungers. They stick on things, and it's just got like an explosive strapped to it with a timer on it.
Awesome.
And he ends up getting one stuck to his forehead. And it's just like, hey, look at I think his name is Snickers. He's like, hey, look at Snickers. He's about to have a really bad headache.
Oh god.
Wow. Okay.
And
Yeah.
then he
Need to see
explodes.
this.
Yes, it's a fantastic film. So, Hitman for me was an interesting one. I'm gonna grab you then, Xander, as you've played it. We'll do an OST on it. I'll sit down and I'll crack through your thoughts. Sound good?
Sorry, I'm just bringing up my notes. I lost them under all the windows on my face. Yeah, I'm on the fence about Hitman. I'm enjoying some bits of it. I like how some of the mechanics work, but it feels like they're much better on a joypad. Because a lot of the, like the way the disguise system works, you've got to kind of turn your face away from bad guys and stuff. But with using the keyboard, you've only got 4 directions. You can't just twist a couple of degrees without, you know what I mean? You're looking at one guy or the other guy. You can't quite get. It feels a little clunky in the PC version, but then again, there's a lot of aiming and there's a lot of stuff. Shooting people in the head will get your extra points and drop them faster and all the rest of it. I can't do that with the joypad, so I'm torn. I'm kind of enjoying it, but it feels a bit clunky in places because of the way it's implemented.
Fair enough.
I never thought I'd hear you say that you think something would be better on a joypad.
I know, right?
Crazy.
The movements is well.
There's hope
I've
yet.
come to realise that of late that a lot of third-person stuff seems to work better on a joypad, as long as there's no aiming involved. Because it's the aiming thing. It's the first-person aiming doesn't work with the joystick near as well as it does with the mouse. If I could kind of have like a thumb pad, I guess I could actually maybe try and use my G13 and set my G13 up to do it. Because it's got the little joystick thing for the thumb. To use that as like the movement control and get used to using that instead of W, A, S and D. So I've still got the mouse for aiming, but a thumb control for moving. That might actually work.
So, we should probably start wrapping up soon,
We
because I don't
should,
want this to run for an hour, but I want to discuss one news story. I mean, of all the news stories that have come out, we can discuss some of them next week, like the Bungie leak and stuff. I want to talk more about, but we can talk about that one next week. I want to touch on a really fairly simple, stupid one.
The Wii Mini.
No. I'm going to guess that Xander's response to this is going to either be yeah or what. I'm prefacing that with that, right? So, THQ and their unluckiness at the moment. So they're having their issues, but they
More
are
issues.
currently being sued by a tattoo artist
What?
What?
because because of a fighter in UFC Undisputed has a tattoo on him that the tattoo artist is claiming is his copyright, not the guy that it's on.
What?
Okay.
He's within his legal rights, to be fair.
I'd
See,
assume
there,
so.
there you go. I was saying Zan to go either one of two ways. Just be like, yep, totally understand, or what? No, that's stupid. I was expecting one of those two.
Well, it's something that you really, if you're doing a big franchise of existing people, this is the kind of crap you've got to take into account. This is why coming up with your own IP is often easier, because you don't have to deal with the legal ins and outs. There's some of the problems, for example, MechWarriors had. They've had to redesign a lot of the mechs because the stupid companies that came up with them originally are still going, that's ours, you can't use that unless you pay us some ridiculous amount of money. So they're all just like, well, you will rerun.
I'm against this one though. I'm on the logic that if you go to a tattoo parlor, and if you get a tattoo put on your body,
That tattoo
It
is
depends.
yours.
No, it depends. If he's gone to the tattoo parlor and said,
and looked through a book and picked out that and gone, I want that one.
Either that, or he's gone, I want you to design me a tattoo that like this, and he's sat down like you would with a graphic artist. Then that's depending on how the contract is with the.
No.
It's like dealing with a graphic artist at that point. You're dealing with the creative industry. You have to be
No.
very careful about who maintains ownership of the
I
IP.
can
I'll
understand
get
where
the
you're
popcorn.
coming. I can understand where you're going and where you're getting that one from, because it's like, no, he created the work. He's the one that created it, therefore it's his.
It would be exactly like
'cause
somebody
if I'm putting it
paying a
on
web
your
designer
body,
to design a website. It's part
But-
of your company. Does the
No.
company then own
no,
the
no,
IP?
no, because you're not wearing that on your skin.
All right, it's like paying somebody to design your company logo. You've got to
That's-
make sure that the IP is
But again,
owned by the company.
That's not on your skin. I understand where you're going on that. But say, for example, right, that you come into my tattoo parlor and you're sat there and you're like, I want to get a tattoo. I want to get, I don't know, like, I'm not sure whether this one was picked out of a book or was personally created for him. So let's say it was personally
I
created
know
for
where
him.
you're going.
No, let's say that you come to me in my shop and you sit down in the chair and I come up to you and I'm like, what can I do for you? And you turn around and you go, I want you to tattoo a small picture of Pinkie Pie from My Little Pony devouring Santa Claus. And I want it on...
We get a glimpse into the inner workings.
The
I want it
ownership
on-
of the IP is
I
clear
want it on
here.
my
The
right
ownership
cheek.
of the
Hang
IP
on.
would be whoever
hang on.
owns.
I want it on my right cheek. And I do it for you. And then merrily someone takes a picture of you and puts it in a magazine and sells the magazine, or takes pictures of you and uses them for something. Like, that's... They would have to, like, for THQ, that means that they would have to either A, take off that tattoo, which could affect their review scores, because people would be like, oh, that's not...
It's not accurate.
The
It's not-
better
it's not
the better
accurate.
way of looking at this would, or the better analogy, if you like, would be to this person, whoever this fighter is somebody in the public eye. This is somebody who is essentially a celebrity in their particular circles. You could take an analogy as being any fashion model. Pick one. It's not something I follow, but the designer, the clothes that they are famous for wearing all of these clothes. But whose clothes are they? They are their clothes, but you can't just go and make another one. You can't just make things of it. That's owned by, I don't know, pick some...
Prada.
Yeah, whoever is it designs
Yeah,
clothes.
but
Gucci or whatever.
That's slightly different, because you're like, oh, check out X celebrity in their Prada dress. You actually make sure that if you're looking at celebrities
Yeah,
like that
and a
stuff,
lot
then
of
you would...
tattoo parlors sell themselves in the same way. They sell themselves as the places you go to have something
that is
custom
like
designed.
yeah,
They
you're
are
talking like
boutiques.
Miami Ink levels of
Yes,
like.
but where do you
this
think a
was done
UFC
by-
fighter's likely to get something like that done? Somebody with the money, somebody in the public eye.
But
That's
yeah, but
exactly the point, and
Surely,
that's exactly what
surely,
this is.
if you put a tattoo on a UFC fighter, you are completely aware of the fact that your tattoo is going
Is
to
getting you free advertising because people are going to go, we like that tattoo. Where did you get it designed and done? That's exactly what that is. So
But you don't then sue.
well, you do if they didn't ask if they could use your artwork.
But but then.
Because nobody's going to ask him, where did he get his tattoo done? He's not getting anything out of it, but they're using his work.
But therein lies one of the other issues, which is they would approach this guy obviously and be like, "Yo, we want to put you in the game, come in for the shot so that we can actually, take essentially a picture of every inch of your body so that we can then get you into the game properly."
Put these little markers on, standing from the camera.
So okay, like you've got these tattoos and everything. They would have probably then asked him at that time, like, "You've got these tattoos, are they okay? Like they're not trademarks or anything, right?" And he would have probably gone, yeah. That's the fighter's fucking fault.
Yes, it would.
Pardon my language.
So THQ would then be able to point the finger at the fighter.
Yeah, but THQ are the one that's getting it because like they're the one that's selling the game that has this tattoo in it.
Yeah, so THQ would then need to pick up a lawsuit with the fighter.
But the tattoo artist shouldn't be doing this. Like this is, I don't know. I think it's stupid.
This is
We're glossing over
pointless
one
and
simple
greedy.
fact.
It's pointless
People
and greedy,
will-
but that's the way it works.
Yeah, people will sue for any reason.
Yeah, that's the way it works. You, as a large company, you should be aware of this. You really should. You have to be, otherwise this kind of crap happens. Simple as that.
Xander, I'm going to sue you every time you say the word peace.
But it's already.
And just to drive home the point, you're going to get it tattooed across your chest.
Because it's already in the public domain. It's not something you can trademark like that.
No, that's totally
There's
my
only Apple
catchphrase.
can get away with that.
That's my catchphrase.
He's already
I'm
filed
gonna
a
sue
patent
you.
for it.
Yeah, there's only Apple can get away with
At his,
like
at
that.
his specific note that he says it at.
No. You know the one I do? Below.
But that's not yours. That's Xander came up with that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
No, you can sue him.
So
I was going to take it first.
we really should wrap this up because we're getting on 40 minutes. So just quickly, before we go, quick bits of news. Oculus Rift.
I'm guessing you want to
delayed,
mention.
because they've had to change
I'm
the
guessing
screens.
you. Well, no.
Hang
We
on,
can
let me
discuss.
buzz through these, and then we can get everything.
I was going to say we
on.
can discuss these next week because, like, just mentioning them shortly, we'll end up wanting to talk about them.
Yeah.
No,
This is
these
community.
are only quick things. There'll be new stuff next. It'll be old news by next week.
Oculus Rift delayed till March. It's got a slightly bigger screen, but it's slightly heavier. No people care.
Yeah, they had to upgrade the screen because the old ones got discontinued. End of Nations. Anybody who's put any money to that is getting their money refunded. They've postponed the open beta indefinitely.
More on that next week.
Yeah. No,
I
a
like the word
developing thing.
foreseeable future more than indefinitely. Indefinitely is a negative word.
Well, that's pretty much
Marketing
what it says.
speak.
Yeah, it's marketing speak. Do it right.
Yeah.
If you're going to do this, do it right.
So yeah, that really interests me, the End of Nations thing, because I was quite interested in that. I quite enjoyed it.
More on this next week.
But that.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm the one that was like, hey, we shouldn't do this. And he was like, no, we can play it serious quickly. And then he sits there and wants to talk about End of Nations.
I don't want to sit here and talk about it. I just wanted to quickly mention it. I think it's interesting. I'm like, what's going on
We
here?
never mention anything quickly.
No, we don't.
We do. I'm done.
No, you're not.
I
Do you
would
want to tell
have been
people?
done another 2 minutes ago, but you all kept,
Do you want to tell
bitching over the
people
top of
what
me.
we're doing this Saturday?
Yeah.
What
In
we're
fact,
doing this Saturday.
I'll
More-
take you over.
More
I'll
Planetside.
I'll take over from that.
No,
Saturday.
yeah, okay, here we go. So, Serge, what are we doing next Saturday?
Yeah, because it's my game. This time. This
Check
Saturday.
the size of this ego, man.
Hey, it's not often I get to stretch my ego.
Count Duck.
Saturday, 8 p.m. We're playing Planetside 2. If you want to
Awesome.
join in, feel free to log on. Send me a tell. We are on the Mallory server. EU side on the Vanu Sovereignty. That's Mallory server, Vanu Sovereignty. Laser shotguns or go home. To be honest.
Get out.
What do you mean? Get out.
Serge.
You're on the same side.
Serge, after this call, can we have a talk? Can I fire Xander and can you take over? Because you actually announced like a server and a faction, which goddamn Chuckle McRetard over
If
there
I'd had
didn't
half
do.
a chance, if I didn't have people talking over the top of me,
You didn't do it last week, and I shut up, and I was
that's
like,
because
go on, Xander.
I didn't even know it last week. We didn't have it sorted out last week.
So,
We
yeah.
didn't have it sorted out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Great, so here we go. In STS30, it will be in STS30, in which I do this alone.
Yeah,
Oh,
pretty
damn
much.
it.
At this
sleep
current rate. No,
It'll
Kel,
just
you'll
be a
still be with
black
me, right,
screen
Kel?
in the background, no footage, no nothing. Just you sat there, twiddling
In a
your
darkened
fingers,
room with a
twiddling
little
your
lamp in the
fingers on
corner.
desk.
Kel, you'll be there with me, right, Kel?
If I wake up.
So you'll have Kel snoring in the background, and you just sat there twiddling your thumbs, going, "So,
I'm here. Kelsel's here. He's asleep.
It'll still be an hour-long STS.
Yeah.
It would, because I'd just sit there and I'd be like, so, how about that Wii Mini? But anyway, we should wrap this up as
That's
many
the third time
times
we've
as
said
we've
that,
said this.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, then, do you know what, Xander? I think it's about time we wrap this up.
Fine.
How about you, Kel?
I'm going to keep
Wrap
a
it up?
counter. Ding.
Yeah, I think we should wrap this
clicker.
up.
Ding.
Serge, should we wrap this up?
Ding.
Yeah, might as well. I'll go get,
might
the,
as well
I'll go
what,
get the
Serge?
Christmas wrap. I'll go wrap it
Yeah.
up.
Ding.
Okay. So, if you have any questions, queries, or comments, please feel free to leave them. Kel?
Below.
There you go.
Damn it, now I have to pay you.
Yeah.
See you in court. And for myself, Kel, Fluke, and Serge, and everyone else, Ellen 3. We'll catch you for the next video. Peace.
You know what?